kind of got to decide what direction I want them, if I want them if I want them flat or what, but if I want them a little bit higher, which I might just throw a little bead of hot glue on there. And this one I'm gonna put over here. I'm just gonna feed it through. Yeah, you guys, if you saw my live over on Facebook, I mean, you know what? Sometimes nobody's perfect, right? I'm not going around saying I'm a wreath making expert. Okay, I have been doing this for a little bit. I've had my Etsy shop for like 6 years now, so I've been doing it for a little while, and I'd say practice makes progress. It does not make perfect by any means, but I am better at making wreaths now than I was before. And when I first started, right? We all are. It's kind of like the more you do it, the better you get, and the more confident you get, and the more you try different things and different techniques, and see what works and what doesn't work for you. And I'm just on here trying to show you guys what worked for me. And there was a lot of time when people would say, do you offer tutorials for your wreaths? And I would always say no, because I didn't think that I had anything to offer teaching wise. But then I tried to do it and it worked and people liked it, so we're gonna keep doing it until I stop feeling like I need to do it, I guess. We're just gonna slip this right back here. We're gonna put this one in the back. And this other one over here. And then I need one more for right there. I have a snowy one over here. I'll just grab one of those. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of different types of holly berries. I never really realized that until I started to use them. It was just last year that I started using faux greenery and all those fun things in my wreaths, and I really like it. I like the way it looks. It seems that people are liking the way it looks. I've been getting lots of good feedback, and I like it. Thankful I try to do that. For a long time, when I would make wreaths, when I would use, not like pines, but like greenery, is I would just like rip the head off of the flower and stick it right here to hide the pipe cleaner. I'm like, well, that's not the cutest look, but you know what, it worked for me at the time. But adding leaves and stuff definitely makes it look better, so I would recommend that. But you know what, do what you feel comfortable with and go from there. We don't, what do they say, like, do better when you know better? Is that how that goes? And that's what I felt comfortable with at the time, so there you go. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this wreath. If you're loving all the looks that we're getting here. If you guys prefer that your bows on the top or on the bottom. Again, this is on a 14-inch wire wreath form. I could have used a pine form, but I knew that adding all the embellishments lately have been making my wreaths huge, and I like to ship them in 24-inch boxes so that it's not out of control with the price of shipping. So trying to keep it a little small, a little on the small side. my little ones. But yeah, we're getting ready for our last craft show of the season. I haven't decided if I'm doing any spring shows yet. This last spring was the first time I did a spring show. I did 2, and they were not super They were not super lucrative for me. So, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Yeah, I'm still well needed at home with my little ones. And I don't know if it's worth it. All right, there we go. And then we're just gonna go through with our holly berries and stick one in each spot. And I think we're gonna be done. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you guys think about this design. I might end up adding some pine. So I feel like this looks a little bare around the outside here. I don't know. And I always add my florals after I add my ornaments because I don't want my ornaments just hanging on the weight, like all the weight hanging on one of these little things. I don't want that because I don't want it to fall off. We always put our embellishments even underneath our bow because, you know, people, they put these on their doors and the wind might blow, and I don't want them to have any bare spots. Nobody wants a bare spot. So yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see about adding some pine in there. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know if it needs it. I think it might be too much. How can there be too much? I know you may say. I know. I feel that way a lot of times too, but I feel like my other one is like that I made earlier today was so like over the top that I don't want to feel like I'm giving this one like a cheap out. But I don't know. I'll have to look at it and figure it out. I'll have to hang it up and see. Because I know that the greenery that I have is more like not like green. It's more like a rustic look, and this is not giving me rustic look vibes. So I think let's put these last couple pieces on and then I'll hang it up and see what I think. But it will be available over in my Etsy shop at Peekaboo Wreaths. And there we go. Last one under that bow. And we're done. So there you go. We are all done. What do you guys think? Nice and full. This one measures about a little over 24 inches across. It is so pretty, and ready. All right, guys. I will see you next time for our next wreath. Bye.